Have you ever been around certain people, like your friends, your colleagues, or just mere acquaintances, that after being around them, you could feel like you shared way too much information with them, or probably you could feel like you acted a tiny bit out of character? And after that incident, maybe meeting them later on in the future, you could easily tell that these people do not see you the same way because their attitude towards you tend to change. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips that can make you mysterious and help you stop oversharing. So please stay tuned, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you've seen my video before, I am super excited to have you on my channel again. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can always stay updated on all my personal growth and development content that I would definitely love to share with you. Now let's get right into the video. My first tip on how to be mysterious and stop oversharing is for you to keep your emotions in check. Now this is very important when it comes to being mysterious, because you do not want to act out of character. And when I'm talking about keeping your emotions in check, I'm not just talking about the negative emotions, I'm also talking about the positive emotions. Because sometimes when we are excited or probably in the right company, we tend to overshare way too much, right? So you always want to keep your emotions in check. I, for one, I am the kind of person that if I feel really comfortable with you, I tend to talk a lot, which is not my usual personality, especially if I'm with just people I know or people I'm not that close with, right? But you always want to keep your emotions in check, because people will misunderstand your personality at every slight opportunity that they get. Okay, so always keep it in check, because if you're always in a positive emotion, people would always feel like they can take advantage of you. They would not know when they've crossed the line. And if you're always in a negative emotion, constantly lashing out, people are going to see you as someone with zero emotional intelligence. So you always want to find a balance with your emotions. Understand why you are oversharing. There are different reasons why different people overshare. It could stem from a feeling of insecurity, or maybe because you are not being authentic, right? When it comes to insecurity, maybe you feel like these people are the rich kids, these people are the people with the cool vibes, and you are not. And then you try to make up for your shortcomings by oversharing way too much detail. Now, the thing is, not everybody needs to know everything about you, okay? And the more people know about you, the more they can rate you, and the more they know the amount of value to place on you, right? So you do not want to be oversharing. So when you're with people in certain companies and you feel like you are oversharing way too much, I'm going to ask you to please stand up and leave. You could just leave the environment so that you can gain back control of yourself and your emotions, or you could completely leave the environment, because the truth is that scarcity breeds fantasy. So if you want to have really high worth and value around the people you're with, then you have to add a little bit of mystery to your personality. There are a few disadvantages associated with oversharing. Disadvantages like oversharing breeds content, right? Like when you share way too much, let's say you are winning at something, or maybe you entered a new career path and it's really progressing at the moment, and you overshare with people, it can actually breed jealousy, right? Hatred. People would now say like you're boasting and bragging about your newest achievements, stuff like that. So oversharing is not necessary. Not everybody needs to know when you're winning. Not everybody needs to know when you're sad. Not everybody needs to know when you're having relationship problems, right? Keep certain things to yourself. Keep private things private, because the truth is that not everybody that is smiling with you has the best intentions for you. So you need to have that at the back of your head and understand that when you're sharing certain things with certain people. Keep your opinions to yourself. Now, unless someone readily asks you for your opinion, right? Unless someone walks up to you and tells you, I need your advice, I need your opinion, I need your input in this matter, keep your mouth shut. Nobody needs your opinion. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Because the more you're giving people unsolicited advices, the more you're giving room for them to see you as a know it all, the more you're giving room for them to see you as a judgmental person. So keep your opinions to yourself unless you are asked for your opinion. People ask questions so they can know where to rate you, and that's the truth. I've had conversations with people where people actually threw out subtle questions that are actually personal. And they throw it in a way that if you are not conscious enough, you'd not even recognize that that question is a personal question. You would just answer that question from the tip of your head. And when such things happen to you, maybe you're having a random conversation with a guy, maybe a guy would randomly come and ask you maybe things like how is your relationship with your boyfriend, or maybe really private things that you would not naturally or randomly share with anybody, right? Or maybe even your friends. And maybe these people, you do not trust them with certain topics, obviously, right? And they ask you random off the book questions. Now, what you do in such scenarios, and what I personally do, is I'm going to ask you straight up, do you expect me to answer that question? Because if obviously that is a private question and you're asking me about it, then it's only obvious to me that you're trying to find out more information about me than I'm willing to share with you, and that you're trying to find out such informations for your personal reasons, your personal gains. Either you're trying to know where to place me in your life, you're trying to judge me, or you're trying to have something deep you can use against me in the future. So when someone comes up and asks me an off the book question that is quite private and I am not willing to share, I'm going to ask you straight up to your face boldly, do you expect me to answer that question? And when I say that, it always breeds some form of uncomfortable, insecure laughter. We both have that laugh, right? And after that laughter, that conversation ends there. Like that question ends there. The person doesn't bring it up, and you definitely do not have to answer that question. So you have to be very, very sensitive when people ask you personal questions in a very casual way, because it only tells you something. There is something else going on there. So do not play the fool in someone else's game. Speak through actions. When it comes to being mysterious, you need to understand that if you are all talk and no action, then it's not given. So if you want to be mysterious, learn to be a person of action. Do more than you say, right? For instance, let's say you want to spoil your girlfriend, right? You do not need to go ahead and tell her, oh baby, I'm going to get you a bouquet of flowers. You really don't need to do that. You should go ahead and do it, because the more you act rather than you speak, the more unpredictable you are. And the more unpredictable you are, the more mysterious energy you're giving out, right? So learn to do more than you say. Be unpredictable. Like I said, just do more than you say. Stop being the all talk and no action kind of person. Let the things you want to do be in your mind, because also another thing is that outside energy can disrupt things. When you tell people way too much than they know, then they know what to attack. If you are having that conversation with someone that doesn't have your best interest at heart, and even that aside, let's say you're having conversations with people about your goals and stuff like that. The thing now happens is that when you have that conversation with them, and let's say they support you and they encourage you, you tend to have the satisfaction you would have gotten from achieving that task without even starting it. That actually reduces your motivation and prevents you from going into that task the way with the right mindset you're meant to go in with it, right? And even if you tell them and they discourage you, they still stop you from achieving your goals. I would say keep your thoughts to yourself, be unpredictable. Anything you want to do should be in your mind. Then go ahead and do it, and let people find out when they find out. it's better that way because people can only attack what they know. They cannot attack what they do not know. Give people the feeling of knowing you. Now, when it comes to being mysterious, I'm not talking about the extreme side of mystery where people now feel like they cannot trust you, where people now feel like they do not know you. And the truth is that if people have the slightest feeling that they do not know you enough, they won't trust you. So you want to always have a balance, right? Know what to share with people and what not to share so that it can breed trust, especially with the people you care about. So it can breed trust with them. So they can say, okay, I know her. She's capable of doing this. No, you cannot tell me she did that because she cannot do that. The people you surround yourself should know you to an extent, but do not go all in and tell them every single thing about yourself. Keep a little bit to yourself. I saw this story from I think the 48 Laws of Power. It talked about a professional kung fu master or something like that. So the master had an apprentice. So the apprentice kept disturbing the master. Teach me everything you know. I want to be as great as you are. Right? So the master went ahead. He had 100 fighting techniques and he went ahead and taught him 99 and he told him that he actually taught him everything that he knew. So later on in the future, the apprentice became boastful and he came back and even challenged his master to a duel. Right? So the master accepted the duel and went on to fight with him and won. So when they were fighting, he used a completely different technique than what the boy knew. So when he won the apprentice was like, how come I didn't know about this technique? And he told them, I taught you everything except one. So always keep some things to yourself because if you put everything you know out there, you're leaving yourself open for hungry lions to devour you. If you put yourself open out there, you're leaving yourself out there without protection. People will take advantage of you, people will use you, people will manipulate you, people will judge you, and people will use your weaknesses against you when you overshare. Because when you overshare, you're going to put your weakness out there without even knowing it and people will take advantage of that opportunity. So please do not do that, okay? Always give people the feeling that they know you, but they shouldn't actually know everything about you. Know what to share and with whom to share it with. Like, for instance, there are certain topics to share with certain people, and you should be very, very aware of that. When it comes to your relationship, you should have the person you trust to go to for advice for your relationship. When you have your financial issues, you should know who to talk to, right? And when you have and when it comes to financial issues, I'm definitely going to advise that you do not just talk to everybody about your financial issues because you're giving room for people to judge you. Because some people actually see you from a distance, they think, oh, this girl, she's doing well, she's like the CEO, she's this, she's that. And then maybe you now go and tell the person, see, I am so broke, I am in debt, and the person will be like, oh my god, I actually thought she is the real deal, right? So you need to be careful of who you actually share your financial issues or financial successes with, right? So always know who to share with and with what, right? Know who to go to for life lessons, know who to go to for business advice, know who to go to in your career problems. Like, always have a topic for certain people because the truth is that not everybody can handle every topic, and most importantly, not everybody needs to know everything about you. That is very, very important. Always have that at the back of your head before you even open your mouth to speak. Stop sharing private informations on social media. Like, this is really important because I feel like we live in a time where people are really careless about the information they share online. I met up with someone I knew from way back, and having her on my social media, I constantly see like posts of her private life, her relationships, stuff like that. And when I met her partner, and I was really shocked because pictures don't lie. Like, exactly the way it is in the picture is exactly the way it is in real life. And for a moment I have this thought like, no, I don't want this, right? And people are different. You could be comfortable sharing your information online, that's fine. But the thing is that the more you share, the more people know, right? And I really don't like that. I prefer the privacy, I prefer the mystery, and you have more value when people do not know what you're capable of, even if you do not have, even if you're not pulling all that power, right? But when people do not know what you're actually capable of, they respect you more, right? They have this fear and respect and value for you. They will not just come up to you and act anyhow. But when they know, oh, is it not this one? I know her going out and her coming in. You lose your value, you lose respect, and at the slightest opportunity that people would get around you, they would actually take advantage of you. Like, it's the truth. You just compare the way people react to you when you post less to the way people react to you when you post more. Trust me, it works. Don't be everywhere at every time. Scarcity breeds fantasy. Scarcity breeds desire. If you are, even in relationships, if you are constantly in someone's face, you're going to lose your worth in that person's eyes. It's called see finish, right? Even in friendships, if you have a friend, for instance, and you're always going to her house, you're always hanging out at her place, one day she might actually unknowingly or get irritated with your presence and probably even ask you to leave her place. But if you go there rarely, for every single time you come, she is going to be so excited to host you. She's going to make sure you have the best time in her place. But if you do otherwise, you're going to get otherwise. Don't talk about your past. Don't talk about your mistakes. Don't talk about your fears. You're giving people room to judge you, right? Maybe you had a past, maybe you did something, maybe your exes treated you bad, like your past wasn't that good. Don't talk about it to people, don't tell people about it, like keep it to yourself, right? You complaining is not going to change anything. And besides, you constantly talking about your past, you're actually manifesting the same past again in your present, because like they said, whatever you say with your mouth is what you're going to experience in your reality. So why do you want to constantly keep talking about something that is not making you money, that is not bringing you peace, that is not making your life better in any way? So do not talk about your past to people. Don't tell people about your past. Maybe if the wound is fresh and you need someone to talk to, you need advice and stuff like that, that's fine, right? But constantly repeating your past, constantly telling people, oh, my ex did me dirty, oh, my this does me this, oh, this person did me, you do not need that. Okay. Spend you Do not use your valuable time reminiscing about the past. The past is the past for a reason. It's like past tense. Let it be that, okay? Let it be something that has gone and let it remain gone. Don't talk about your finances and your goals, your achievements, and when you're winning. Because, like I said, not everybody has the best intentions for you. And when you talk about your goals way too early, you derive the satisfaction you would have gotten from actually accomplishing that goal. And when that happens, it reduces your motivation to actually go after that goal. And when it comes to your finances, unless you know that this person is successful and you're actually seeking advice from them on how to improve your finances. Another thing with oversharing is you also need to understand the difference between sharing and gossiping, right? Because some of us don't even know the difference. We randomly just go to people and we're talking about different people behind their back and we call it gist. Please stop it. It's really not healthy, it's really not nice. And also being a high value woman, gossiping shouldn't be a part of your characteristics, right? So if you find yourself constantly drawn to gossipers, or if you find gossipers are constantly drawn to you, always stay away from them because they are not impacting your life in any way. As a matter of fact, they are making your brain numb because now the only thing you're going to be thinking about is someone else's business when you should actually concentrate on thinking about your own business, how to make your life better, how to make your life easier, how to improve your finances, how to improve your mindset. These are the things you should be worried about and not someone else's business. You're busy thinking about someone else's business, filling your mind with information that are so unnecessary. Right? The person is busy living their life the best way they know how to. So focus on you and nothing else. Keep quiet about your relationships. Stop sharing a whole lot of details about your relationship. Like when you have a relationship problems, right? Don't just go on to everybody, because the thing is that you can actually be sharing your relationship problems with someone. You don't know if this person is happy you're having that problem. You don't know if this person is actually instigating the problems you're having in your relationship. So you want to be very, very mindful of that. When it comes to relationship, be very, very aware of the people you share your relationship informations with. And when they give you advice, you have to sit down, think about that advice, understand the advice, and decide on what you're going to do for your relationship. Because at the end of the day, you are the one in the relationship. And don't go and be giving people unsolicited relationship advice. Because if they do not ask for your advice and you give them advice, maybe tomorrow now they'll use it and reconcile. You'll not be wondering, this girl I used to be close with, all of a sudden, boyfriend is no longer talking to me. They've used it to, mend their differences. So always mind your business. Like, focus on anything that is not pouring into you, anything that is not impacting you in a positive way, anything that is not bringing you closer to your goals, to your dream life, shouldn't even be entertained in your life in the first place. And finally, stop sharing people's secrets and stop sharing your own secrets. Like, there's certain people like that, right? It's all in the name of having conversations with people. You're like, oh, I trust this person and I'm just gisting with a person. And in the process of gisting, you are divulging someone else's secret. You're telling someone else on how someone else did something in the past. It's called secret for a reason. Okay, if the person wanted their whole dirty linen out in public, they would have done it themselves. And you yourself, stop talking about your own secret to people. Like, not everybody needs to know everything. Even if this person is your best friend, you guys are ride and die, right? You guys do all the crazy things together. Keep some things to yourself. Like, honestly, because you don't know tomorrow. People actually fall out, right? And the crazy thing about life is that people change and we don't tell each other, right? Like, you could literally be so close with someone right now, and tomorrow they would feel completely different about you. Now, when that happens, they actually walk away with all your secrets. They walk away with everything they know about you. Now, you'll be lucky if this person walks away and doesn't divulge those informations to other people, right? But in certain scenarios, when you fall out with people, they could end up washing your dirty linens in public without your permission. So be very, very careful of the things you share with people, who you share it with, and what you share with them, because you never really know tomorrow. And even if you guys fall out, you want people to only have informations about you that even when things get bad or rocky between the both of you, whatever they share cannot affect you. And finally, I want to share with you a few benefits of um, why you should be mysterious. And it's because when you are mysterious, it actually breeds value, right? Because when people do not know everything about you, they now want to know more about you. But if you are constantly out there, they're going to be like, no, I already know who she is. I know everything about her. I don't think there is more to know. It reduces your value and your worth in people's eyes. There was this study that was done where a group of women were asked to stand stark naked and a group were asked to put on swimwears, right? And a psychological test was done on the men, and they found out that the men found the women in swimsuits more attractive than the women that were stark naked. And that is just normal human nature. Leave things to fantasy, like leave things to imagination, both in the way you dress, but in the way you talk, but in the way you carry yourself, but in the way you act. Always leave things to imaginations, because people really do not deserve to know everything about you. And also, I'm going to say mystery also gives room for more security, because the more people know about you, the more things they know, the more they can attack you, right? And just leave things to mystery, because you never really know the people out there that have the best intentions for you. Like, everybody puts on a mask. As human beings, we are consummate players, actors, right? We know how to put on masks. That is why people act differently around different people, right? Me, for instance, there are people I am super excited when I'm around them. There are people that when I'm around them, I'm super cautious, right? We all act different ways around different people. And the truth is that you cannot really tell everything. You cannot even tell what is on a person's mind until they actually act out around you, until they actually open their mouth. Then you can know, okay, this person feels this way about me, this person thinks about me in this way. So you want to be extremely careful about what you put out there, whether it's on social media or when you're hanging out with people, because the truth is that the heart of man or the mind of man is desperately wicked, and you would never know until you have your proof. And probably when you get the proof of how dangerous the person is, or how much of an ill intent they have towards you, it might actually be late. So prevention is better than cure. Protect yourself and always mind your business. So with that, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can always stay updated on all my personal growth and development content that I would definitely love to share with you. Please let me know in the comment section if you found this content helpful so I can create more content like that. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.